All right, we would like to welcome Matt McCarty into the Media Center. We'll open it up for questions in a couple minutes. But Matt, first off, how does it feel to be making your first tour start this week at the Sanderson Farms Championship?
Yeah, I mean, it feels really good. I'm really excited for the week. I mean, obviously, after the third win on the Corn Ferry, just really excited to get out here and get going. But yeah, looking forward to it.
How has your time on the Corn Ferry Tour prepared you to be a tour pro, and specifically this last season, winning 3 times? Just how do you feel coming into this week after this past season?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good. Like, I think it's weird because it's like, first start, I guess, but it's my 26th event this year. Like, I've been playing a lot of golf and a lot of good golf recently, so like I feel good coming into it, and I'm ready. Obviously earned my way out here, and very excited just to kind of see how it feels and see how I stack up against a lot of these guys. But yeah, just looking forward to getting out here and competing all week. So,
not only did you secure your tour card with that third win, but a few weeks ago you secured the #1 spot in the Corn Ferry Tour points list. Just how does it feel knowing that you have gotten exemptions into the 2025 Players Championship and U.S. Open and earned some more playing opportunities with that #1 spot?
Yeah, I mean, it'll kind of making next year, I guess, as easy as possible out of the gate will be nice. Kind of knowing I'm in the fields, exempt from reshuffle is awesome. Obviously, the Players and the U.S. Open, this summer, I was just happy to be exempt from local qualifying for the U.S. Open, so now to be into the field next year will be really cool. And obviously at Oakmont, with all the history out there and everything, it'll be a good challenge and exciting. And same with Sawgrass, of growing up watching that event, and it'll be a lot of fun. But looking forward to the opportunities ahead, and growing up in Phoenix, kind of having the waste management circled and being able to go out there with friends, family, and that whole atmosphere will be a lot of fun as well. So yeah.
And starting with this week, obviously, like you mentioned, making your first start on tour, what have been your first impressions of the course, of Jackson, and how are you feeling going into the first round tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like, the build-up here is a lot more than a Corn Ferry event for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, the course is good. It's like I've kind of heard a lot from a lot of guys of just like kind of the difference between Corn Ferry and out here, and I think this course kind of epitomizes that of, 4 long, tough par 5s. Like, really, this course doesn't really give you that many birdies, and with the rough kind of Bermuda pretty thick, like fairways are at a premium, but I think it just tests every part of your game pretty well, and I think that'll kind of be this course, and also like next year as well. Just you got to drive it a little bit better, you got to hit your iron shots a little bit better, you got to chip a little bit better, and you got to make some putts still. So but yeah, looking forward to it. And it's I grew up on the West Coast, Arizona, so I have some experience with Bermuda, but I think kind of being a little uncomfortable with that, especially like for my first start, will be good, and kind of teaching me and understanding like what I kind of need to work on this off season and going into next year, especially with some of these different types of grasses. I think it'll be a good kind of first step in that direction. Are
there any players who you've talked to this week or leaned on this week heading into tomorrow to help get you prepared and acclimated to tour life?
I mean, I feel like I've played against, from all the Corn Ferry grads and guys the last 3 years out there. Like, I've played against, a good amount of this field. So I got a good amount of buddies out here, and just kind of, asking them questions about what's different, just bouncing ideas off of. We played 18 holes with Mac Meisner yesterday. He's a good buddy. Last year, he made it out here a year earlier than I did. So it was nice to, kind of be back with him. But yeah, just kind of all these guys. And I think tomorrow playing with Kuchar and English, I don't know how many tour starts they have combined, but it's a very large number, I'm sure, and it'll be cool just to kind of see how they go about their business and talk to them, get some advice, but also just kind of watch and observe and understand that that high level of golf they've been playing for a really long time is not a mistake. So to kind of learn from them and just watch, honestly, will be kind of cool as well. So
the last, and before we open it up, the last couple months have been, for lack of a better term, a whirlwind with 3 wins and earning your promotion to the tour. Have you had a chance to like reflect on your last season and what you achieved, and what making the start sort of shows from what you were able to do on the Corn Ferry Tour this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year I was really close to getting my card. I think I finished like 34th, 35th, but missed it by about like 40 points. So this year, just like spending last off season working on a few things, but also this year just kind of getting in contention a little bit more and honestly learning how to win. But after my first one in Springfield, to be able to keep that level of golf going and just kind of keep the pedal down and refocus from getting my card to finishing number one to getting the U.S. Open and the Players and honestly the 3-win promotion and get out here as early as possible. It's just been kind of more, changing goals around a little bit, but also just, been nice to a lot of hard work paying off, but also to kind of keep it going. And I think that shows kind of like where my game's at and how these last, couple 3 years have like prepared me. And, I feel ready to be out here. So I'm looking forward to the week.
We'll open it up for questions now.
Growing up, did you go out to many events as a kid, attending any PGA Tour events?
Yeah, I mean, I went out to the Waste every year, so it was fun. It was always a lot of fun. I think a lot more fun once you turn 21 than when you were a kid in high school. But it was great. And we would do, me and my buddies, we'd do Standard Baron growing up out there. So like kind of being able to be inside 16, like in that atmosphere was pretty cool, especially at that age. But yeah, and then, get out to a few events, here and there. Me and my dad, lucky enough to get tickets to the Masters in 2009. Went out to the U.S. Open at Torrey in 2008 when, Tiger won, obviously. And so I think growing up, like having that, seeing those guys, like it's pretty surreal to be out here now. But at the same point, like it's very, very exciting and, I'm ready for it, so.
Do you have any specific memories from when you were standing bare at Phoenix of any certain groups you were following from a year?
Actually, Ken Duke was really like, he would talk to us kind of walking down fairways and stuff. Nothing else that really other than just being inside 16 and kind of, it's a lot louder when you're in the middle of it, I guess, than on the side in the stands. But yeah, I mean, just like seeing how big of, an atmosphere it is itself, like, it just having that many people out, to watch golf and everything is pretty crazy. So it was fun.
For those that are maybe less familiar with your game, where would you explain like your strong suits are off the tee or with your putter, or where in your game?
Yeah, I mean, I've gained a little bit of distance this year, so like I think that was kind of a disadvantage to me the last couple of years, kind of coming out of college. So I think, I'm not crazy long by any means, but long enough to use it to an advantage sometimes. Hit a lot of fairways, just kind of consistency with ball striking. But yeah, I've been working a lot on my wedges and my putting, and I think that's gotten a lot better this year. And kind of when you do give yourself a chance to be in scoring position to actually be able to convert is huge, and just make a lot more birdies, but also just kind of managing the misses a little bit better lately too. Of like, making pars easier on myself and not having to grind for par as much, and limiting the bogeys I think is huge, especially on the Corn Ferry, but definitely out here as well. Of like, sometimes it's not like the birdies that you do make, but the bogeys that you don't, I guess, I think, to have a successful week. So but yeah, I mean, it's been a long couple 3 years, a lot of like learning experiences, and I think a lot of little things add up, and you kind of don't realize it in the moment. But I think over these last few months, like he was talking about, reflecting, and I've had some time to do that, and I think the amount of growth that I've kind of seen within myself is very promising, and I think I've continued to get better every year basically since my freshman year of college. So just kind of looking forward to doing the same thing.
Sticking along those lines, are you someone who personally likes to set goals? You've had a very successful Corn Ferry Tour season, but what goals do you have now here on the tour, or what does success look like for this week?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I think with the way that I'm playing, I think, it's not crazy to put myself in contention and have a chance to win this weekend. But I think, goals sometimes are relative too. Like, I just want to continue to like play well, have fun, and then also just like use the experience, kind of see if I notice anything within myself. I think especially this fall, kind of having a few, I guess, you know, however many events I get into, but 3, 4, 5 extra like bonus starts this fall, kind of before the season gets going next year. And I kind of got some free golf. Like, you know, if I'm able to come win one of these, I can, you know, extend my status from 1 year to 2 and get in some more events and stuff. But yeah, just kind of looking forward to the experience and just the difference in golf courses and, you know, kind of the guys out here and yeah, just have fun with the week. Honestly, I think that's my main goal. Like, I've been waiting to be out here for, you know, a while, and just to like really enjoy this week and kind of take it in as well, I think it is important for me.
Who's on the bag for you this week, and what's the relationship there?
Same guy that's been on the bag for me the last 3 years, Dev Das. We went to college together, so lived together for a couple years, good buddy. So like you know, he's been through it with me on the Corn Ferry, so it's, you know, his first tour event as well. But kind of we've done it our way and kind of, you know, grown, I guess, together as well, which is cool. So it'll be fun for both of us to be out here. But yeah, it's nice. It's good having a buddy on the bag. You kind of give it to each other. Nobody's feelings get hurt, I guess, when you're out there. So yeah, it'll be fun.
And then just before this, earlier today, you were at the Children's of Mississippi. What was that experience like, visiting the hospital there?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, it's crazy to see, you know, how happy those kids are and just like their attitude, and like it's very inspiring. And I think, you know, we get to play golf for a living, and sometimes you take that too seriously, and it really puts things in perspective when you kind of see kids and families like that, you know, are going through some serious stuff. So it's like, you know, we're just out here hitting a ball around. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. But it is cool to kind of see their attitude and, you know, what they're interested in, and just how, like, tough and strong those kids are, honestly, too.
Any friends and family you're expecting to follow along this week?
Yeah, my dad, he's flying in tonight, and then my girlfriend's got to work this week, but she'll be in Friday night, so but yeah, it'll be exciting, and it'll be fun to kind of have everybody together, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Go to Ava down in front.
Hi. I have a couple questions. Being so young, are you proud of what you've achieved, and what keeps you motivated and going?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm about to be 27, so I guess seeing some of these guys now, they're like, I'm not that young, but yeah, I mean, it is cool. It was nice to kind of get my Corn Ferry card right out of college and kind of hit the ground running and have, you know, these experiences, I guess, kind of, you know, obviously spent 3 years on the Corn Ferry, but feel like I've made it out and made it here in like a good amount of time. So, yeah, I think it just kind of proves, you know, the work I put in, you know, my process and kind of how I practice and stuff. But yeah, it's cool to think about, I guess. Yeah.
I'm kind of new to golf. I'm still, you know, trying to figure out the ropes and learning the different aspects of the sport. So what advice do you have for someone who's learning and getting into golf?
I mean, I think just kind of gather as much information as you can and then see what works for you. But at the same point, I think it's like it's a sport. It's supposed to be fun. Just have fun, enjoy it. That's half the battle. Don't beat yourself up too much if you have like a bad day or anything. You can learn something from every day. You probably learn more from bad days than good ones, honestly, but just kind of taking that approach, I think, is helpful.
What's your favorite part about playing golf?
Making birdies. I mean, I don't know. I think the competition is my favorite part and the challenge that it kind of brings internally of, you know, even when you're practicing or playing, you know, you're kind of always competing against yourself, but then now being out here and being able to, you know, challenge myself and kind of what I have against, you know, the best players in the world will be very exciting. But that competition aspect, and it's, you know, it just helps. It's like, you know, the reason why you kind of get up in the morning and you want to work hard and everything, and that aspect of it is the best. It's a lot better than sitting at a desk too. It's fun to be outside and just hanging out and traveling and going to cool places. There's a lot of cool life experiences that come along with it, and the people that you meet and the camaraderie, like, as part of the game itself, is a really nice aspect. So meet a lot of cool people, go to a lot of cool places, and spend a lot of time outside. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt, and best of luck this week.
Yep. Thank you.
Could I get one more? Is it okay?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah, just one more.
spoke too soon. One more.
I'm sorry. So with this being your first PJ event, I don't know if you do have any nerves at all, but if there are any, would that maybe settle off after the first hole, or have they already kind of wore off, or if there are any nerves, have you kind of...
Yeah, I mean, we'll kind of see, like, when I step on the first tee. I think there's always nerves, like, especially like golf, you know, you're kind of only as good as the last round or last tournament you play. So, but yeah, just like proving to myself that, you know, this year that I've had and to be out here, like, I want to prove to myself that I can play with these guys and play well out here. So I think, you know, all that pressure, nerves, it's all internal. And I think, you know, channeling it from, you know, being in nervous and excitement is the same feeling. So just telling myself I'm excited to be out here and embracing that and leaning into it will be, you know, part of the fun this week for sure.
Hi, this is Dosser. I just have a quick question about your equipment this week. What socks will you be wearing in this tournament?
I'll be wearing Del Campo golf socks.
Okay, thank you. That's it. I'm done.
Thank you, Matt. Best of luck this week.